In my experience playing Minecraft, it doesn't take too long before a server is up and there's some sort of shopping district going on. What I've always found ridiculous is in those shopping districts, it's usually one case of whatever supplies it is, and half the time the shopkeeper then forgets to reload the stock. So today, what I want to show you is a shopping district that will actually restock, take the money, and get supplies reloading. Today on Creations. Alright, so this build is not super complicated. It's pretty standardized technology. I've just never seen these two pieces of technology put together in this format. Now, the first thing I will let you know is that this chest here on display, if you check the screen, you'll see that it is a trap chest. And we are actually using the trap chest because we need it to give a redstone signal when it is opened to prevent the supply of logs automatically falling in. I just wanted that to be locked while open, and the trap chest was the simplest way to do that. As you can imagine, behind the trap chest, we have a fairly standardized silo design of supplies. Now, obviously, you wouldn't want to fill this up with, say, diamond armor. This is designed for those supplies that you want to sell by the stack, the various woods, cobble, slime, that kind of thing. Things that make sense to sell for a diamond a stack. I could also see perhaps enchanted books that if you're having a good villager trading hall, or perhaps a successful AFK fish farm, those things I could see being sold for a diamond block. You're going to run the business, you figure out the prices, this is a delivery method. Then what we have underneath the trap chest is a standard sorting system. One thing I will let you know, I go ahead and put 17 plus 3 sorted items underneath the chest. I use 2 diamonds because of server delays and time. If you use 1 diamond to filter out the diamonds, then it might cause a lag to suck out the placeholding diamond, and then it'll suck in whatever item you're selling, and it'll filter through. But I've found that if you use 2 diamonds here, then that's going to wind up successfully giving enough buffer time that you're not going to have that item flow through. The key of it is you're going to want to have 2 of your payment items, normally diamond, 17 of a filter item in 1 stack, and then fill the last 3 stacks with the other filter item as well. Obviously, you're going to want to make it a named item. That way things don't stack. Standard sorting system rules apply, but that's the basic concept. For a little bit of reference, these iron blocks are not specific to the build in any way. I use them simply so you have a height reference of how much basement you would need to run this. Obviously, I did stairs just for a light and a platform effect, but most of the time you're going to dig a hole, but you're going to want to have that hole at least 3 spaces beneath whatever your floor of your shop is going to be. And then if you wanted to make this 1 by item, I kind of designed this in mind to be a shop that has a row of items with a exterior wall on the other side of the silo. Again, I'm here to focus on the redstone. I'll let you creative people focus on the technology of it. But that being the case then, let us go ahead and build a second vending port so you can actually get an idea of how to put this together. Okay, so I've gone ahead and expanded our shop distance a little bit. You do need to have the 2 spaces between vending ports, simply because you need the room for the filter system. Now, technically, you could try to extend the exterior wall further out and claim a little bit of space outside of any shop. But I kind of like this 90-degree spin because then if you want to put up some notices, if you want to put up some flyers or some decor, you've got the wall space for it. And I like the narrow wall. That way I'm not pushing into neighbors' territories and that sort of thing. Once you've got the new bay set up, then the floor is temporary, of course, but then you're going to go ahead and drop in. Again, this has to be a trap chest for the redstone to work. Hop on down. These blocks were temporary just to get my spacing correct. And then we're going to go ahead and get some of the hoppers into the equation. Alright, so that is going to be for the chest. Excellent. And then I'll go ahead and temporary block to get the, so that's the input chest. That will need a second hopper there. That's the output chest. Inputs and outflow hopper setup. Then what we're going to want to do is start building a framework for the redstone. Basically, you're going to want to build what I nicknamed the slant 6, which are 6 blocks in a diagonal format. In this case, I'm going to use the polished andesite as basically a temporary placeholder box to make it easier to build the redstone wiring around it. Now on this bottom section, especially if it's all it's going to be is holding redstone, I like to slab it, and then you get a system looking like that, the slant 6. Alright, so at this point then, we're going to get a converter, or comparator, not a converter, sorry. Comparator needs to flow into that block, taking the signal from this hopper. Excellent. Get my redstone dust. To dust up those two. Then we need to get the repeater. Goes right onto the slab. Redstone torch. So what that is doing is taking the signal from the hopper through the block, redstone dust, into the comparator, into the torch. That's how that system essentially works. Now at this point then, we'd want to get a standard chest will do just fine. You can go ahead and click onto the torch to place it. Pick up one more hopper to get it dropped into there. That way, that torch being on charges this block, which locks this hopper, which keeps the system from operating. At this point then, we're going to go ahead. Remember, 17, 3 plus 2 diamonds is what essentially programs the filter lock. So, okay, 16, 17, and then again, 2. Technically, the system would work, and like in your home-based filter systems, you can go ahead and use like 1 and 18 is the more traditional. But when I've got a massive, I know that this is going to be holding back a huge silo full of material, I wanted to have the extra delay in here as a safety margin, especially when this is largely going to be used on servers and server lag can be a reality. Add the extra diamond just to err on the side of caution to prevent this from starting to empty out what would be the entire silos full of contents down here, breaking the system and making it painful. Okay, and then at that point we are going to build a traditional silo system. Let me climb on up here. Temporarily hop in here. Clean up my mess. And at this point, we're building a basic standard silo here. Alright, so hop up to and at this point you're just back and forth however high as you want to go. And this time then, if we're going with the logs theme, let's go ahead and say we sell spruce logs here. Alright, so at this point then you'd be doing your normal decorating. Obviously you'd probably want to do some sort of pricing, the classics being just the sign or even the renaming of an item in an item frame. At that point you're getting into more decorative decisions that I would let you make your own decisions for your own shop. I will say that you probably want to consider some sort of gray or stone background behind this for the simple fact that because we are using a hopper directly into a chest, you are going to have that gray showing there, and it shows up a little bit less when you're actually using gray block around that. And there's so many gray stone variants within Minecraft that that's usually not going to be a huge trade-off there. But as you can tell with the system we have right here, we'll go ahead and buy a stack. You can tell why it's open. It's not doing anything. It looks just normal. So if you have a customer who is pausing and can't decide how many stacks do I want, as long as that chest is open, then they're not even going to notice it 90% of the time. Once they close it out, then it starts reloading the second they close it. And then when you look underneath, the first one often gets caught right up there. But that's not a big deal. And then you can tell we still have the 2 in there. That's part of why I like the filter system there. But I hope builds like this are something you're interested in, make sure to like and subscribe. I drop videos like this often. If you want to see more, that's what the playlists are for. I'm Commander Tom, and I will see you next mine. Thanks.